Hello everyone. Welcome to the low temperature thermochronology online course, which is a very exciting topic in geology. And this course could be useful to many people in different geological topics. This chapter will be presented by Professor Li Ronqi from Chang'an University. So, we are going to talk about chapter 11, which is the thermal parameters of sedimentary organic matter. The content of this chapter in three main parts, which are: what is the sedimentary organic matter, thermal parameters of organic matter, and applications of thermal parameters to study the basin thermal history. And we will talk about each point in detail, and each part will be presented separately. We hope that you can enjoy this course. After you finish this course, you will be able to know the basic knowledge about the thermal parameters of sedimentary organic matter. Let's start with part 1, which is what a sedimentary organic matter is. And here you could be able to know the basic information and knowledge about the sedimentary organic matter, its classification, and how to identify the thermal maturity of different materials. Sedimentary organic matter is a residue of life and their activities in Earth history. So, this organic matter derives from the livings in the land and the water also. So, the aquatic life can be in oceans or lakes. In the process of the sea, sedimentary organic matter is derived from the plant that got into the water along the river, and also from the microbe, algae, bacteria, and other organisms. All these livings and their residue activities are taken into the lake or the sea along with the river, and it deposits along with other sediments in different conditions. So, it's an essential part of a rock that produces oil and gas, and not less important than the minerals named materials. So, how organic matter looks like? The organic matter is a salt preserved in a rock. So, after adding particular acids to the rock, all the minerals will be dissolved into the acids, and the remaining residues of rock, after dissolved by the acids of HCl and HF, will be the kerogen, which is a black powder. So, the kerogen is a salt organic matter preserved in a rock along with the minerals. The materials of source rock and also coal is divided into many groups, and each group can be divided into subgroups. Libetenites are derived from spores, pollens, cutters, and resins in the organelle plant material. These plant parts are more hydrogen rich than other materials. There are also fluorescent at some coal ranks. Phytrinites are composed of partially killed wood, bark, and roots, and contain less hydrogen than libetenites. Anthracenites are mainly oxidation products of other materials and are consequently richer in carbon than libetenites, or vitrinite, because much of the oxygen in the original blend parts or residues has been consumed by oxidation. The inutinite group includes fusinite, most of which is fossil charcoal derived from ancient fires in the coal-forming peat. Other inutinite materials, for example, macrinite, owe their origin to biological decomposition and decay of plant material. Still others, for example, the micrinite, result from thermal maturation of the peat. So, usually we can identify the materials under the microscope because we can't see it in normal situations with our eyes. This picture here of materials under microscope transmitted into white light, and this material was treated after adding acids. The first picture from the left is alluvial materials after putting acids, so it's not a direct form. The second one is the woody kerogen to the right, so just like a piece of wood, and it can be also derived from the third kerogen of group of inutinite. The third picture to the left down is including mix of woody and alluvial materials, which is belong to the vitrinite group of materials. Here we can see a single sporinite separated from kerogen under a transmitted white light microscope, and this one just one sporinite from many that you can see under the microscope. The second one to the right is a bitumen filled in rock, and also we can see it under the microscope with reflected white light. This image was taken under reflected UV light, and we can see the sporinite material looks like the snail, and the bright color is the riceinite. The darker color here is the vitrinite, and all the materials here with different colors reflect the thermal maturity of the source rocks or the organic matter. So, in this picture, the thermal maturity reached its peak oil generation here, and if the image is in dark color, will indicate the over mature organic matter. This image also under the reflected UV light, and it shows the cutinite material that belongs to the euxenite or libitinite group. So the color here is gradually changing from bright to dark, and it could be said that the organic matter here reached its peak oil generation also. In this image, we can see three types of materials, which are the brighter one is the sporinite, which we can see the whole one, and some other parts are broken. The darker one here is vitrinite, and this image also indicates that the organic matter here reached its peak oil generation. In this image, we can see the alginite materials that belongs to the euxenite or libitinite group under the reflected UV light yield to generate hydrocarbons. In here, we can estimate that the thermal maturity reached the peak oil generation also. In this reflected white light image, we can see a beautiful inner structure of the woody fusinite that belongs to the inertinite group of organic matter materials. We can see here a lot of wooden cells in a beautiful arrangement. This is the end of the part 1, and thank you for your attention.